Have you ever wondered why your courses aren't gaining traction and engagement? You do not need more content. What you need is community. Hey there, I am Carrie Melissa Jones, and I help organizations of all shapes and sizes build meaningful and engaged communities. Today, I'm going to talk through how you can couple your course creation with community building to build something truly unique and powerful that is just yours. Over the course of my career, I have seen so many courses get launched that people just don't finish. And what that creates for you as the creator is a feeling of failure. I failed because my students are failing. When in fact, what needs to happen is you need to pair up community and engagement and interaction with the course that you are building. So today I'm going to be walking you through how to do this in a beautiful way on Mighty Networks. Before I go any further though, I want you to know that Mighty has gifted me a very special link that's going to give you 30 days of free access to Mighty Networks to try this out. This is 2 weeks longer than you'll get on any of the other standard promo codes out there. So thank you to Mighty for sharing that. And you can take advantage of that by going to the video description below. Okay, so let's get into Mighty's feature set. I'm going to walk you through a demo space that I've been working inside of. So first thing to know about Mighty is that your collections, that's what these bolded text things are here. They're called collections. They're essentially folders of other things. So you can create a folder of courses. You can create a folder of different discussion areas. Now your spaces are your hubs for your content. Your actual course is going to live for interaction. All of that is going to be in here. So now each course here can be all in one, or you can create, this is a course at the collection level and it has purpose-built spaces. So just for the course or just for a chat area. My recommendation at launch is to keep things really, really simple, enable those purpose-built spaces, and then you can go a level deeper as you grow. So the types of courses that you can create inside of Mighty. So I want you to see how you actually go in here. You can create a space. This is where you create your course. You go in and you can actually say, I want to create just a chat space, or I want to just create a feed, or I want to create a cohort course, meaning it's all going to be kind of dripped out over time, or I just want the content in there. So you can create, if we're thinking about courses here, you can create a content only course. And then you can also think about a cohort course. So that's where there's a template that they've set up for you. It includes a feed for people to discuss things, a members list so you can see who else is there. And then that content only course is actually inside of here. So that's another type. Another type of space that you can set up is a challenge. So maybe your course is more of like a time-bound structured activities that you want people to go through. So you can set that up here too. And then you can also build your own. So you can mix and match any of these together. So you can actually turn on things like a chat, a feed, events calendar, all of that in one place. So I'm going to show you an example of that a little bit later in this video. Now within Mighty's courses, there are different views that you can take. You have 3 options here. You go into the actual course itself, and you can see this, look for these. So you've got a thumbnail view, which is what I just showed you. You've got a simple view, which is I'll show you that. It's more of like just here's all the lessons in one go. And then you've got this grid view, which talk about beautiful. I'm going to actually open that up here because it is just gorgeous. Obviously, you would size these to the right thumbnails, but even just like this, it just looks really, really beautiful. And in fact, when you open it up, it even shows these thumbnails for you. Like, it's just gorgeous the way that all of this looks. So you can really make this your own. You can brand all of this to really just have it look just like your brand and exactly how you want it to look. Next, I want to show you how to actually start to create courses in here. I just want to talk about how gorgeous this is. So whenever you want to create a new lesson, you would go here, create that lesson. The lesson is added to the very end. And you can see here that you can start writing the lesson. You can start putting in content here. We have to hit edit. Writing lesson. This is where you add in your header media. That's what shows up right here and right here. You can also add a video in here. The other thing that's really cool about Mighty is that you can embed all kinds of things inside of these lessons. So you can embed Loom videos. You can embed Canva files, Notion databases, Calendly for one-to-one bookings if you want to upsell people into a coaching call with you. And Mighty actually has a full list of all of the embeds and integrations that you can use here. But to create them or to start to embed them, you can begin by embedding simple things like images, videos, and video links, or you would just paste the URL of like a Figma board or anything else like that. Now, you might also be wondering about AI and how to use that inside of your content creation. My recommendation is to build your course outside of any AI kind of outlining. But if you feel really stuck, one of the really cool things about Mighty, and I will show you this next, is that it has this AI outliner. So if I go into create a space and I decide to create a content only course to begin, I'll just call this test course. I will put it in this launch space. Great, great, great. Create the space. So I create the space, then I view the space and say I want to use AI to start my outline. Again, I would not use this in any way, shape, or form as your final answer. But if you're like, I really want to create a course on launching a community, it can give you some good ideas that you can start to build on. So then you can use those ideas and start to write out your course content and decide which of these things am I going to really teach, which things am I not going to teach, and go from there. Okay, now let's take it a step further with some evidence-based practices for engaging your members inside of your courses and your paid community inside of Mighty. So how do you elevate a course beyond content delivery? You do it through strategic engagement. This is really anything that is creating an opportunity to interact with either you or preferably with other students, because people are going to learn even better if they are interacting with one another. Fortunately, this is really easy to do within Mighty. I'm going to show you some of the ways that you can do this. Okay, so what you're seeing here is my sample course, and what I've created is a build your own kind of a course space here with a course, a discussion area, a chat, a weekly checkpoint, and live classes. So this would be an example of a course that is built for interaction. So you've got the actual course content here. Great, that's step one. But we also want to create an area for asynchronous discussion. So this is actually a feed within Mighty, but you can create many, many different types of posts. And one way that you might create engagement, for example, is by creating polls. So you can ask them, like, how well do you understand what we just talked about last week? You can ask that in a poll here, post it, super quick. You can decide if you want to notify or not. We're going to not notify. And you see right here, then people can come in and vote. Like, I do not understand it at all. And then you'll see over time, when people start voting on this, just a really quick pulse check of how things are going. You can also be asking things like, what topics are you stuck on, and give them multiple choice options. You can, this is my dog, how you can ask people questions, give them a ranking scale, share articles in here. This is where you're going to take what's talked about in your course and contextualize it and give opportunities for people to give you feedback, as well as to talk about the things that you're talking about in the course. Another way that you might do this, and you might do this instead of a feed or in addition to it, is to have a chat area. So this is what's going to, like a chat room, like an old school chat room, which is where I grew up on the internet. And this is where you might actually have conversations. Maybe you say, everyone meet me here at 1 p.m. and we will have a conversation about whatever topic we're going to discuss today, and everyone can be talking in real time. Now, another thing you might do to create engagement is to do something like a weekly checkpoint, or really any kind of way that you can start to gather information from your members. So this is actually set up as a page within the course. It's a static page. You can create a static page around all kinds of things that we have named weekly checkpoint. And really all it is an embedded form where people can give you feedback. But you could use this in many, many ways. Again, you could do a weekly quiz here, or you could do a quiz natively within the course. But this is just a way of making it more interactive and giving people other ways to engage beyond just going through this course. That's what you want to get them out of just consuming the content. Now, essentially, for many of us creators who are creating courses and educating folks, you've got to have live gatherings. Those are so important for creating engagement and for really solidifying learning and helping people meet challenges. So this is a gorgeous, gorgeous calendar example that you can create inside of Mighty. And you can see that you can create thumbnails here that people can use to quickly identify different events. You can browse through upcoming events, and you can highlight these. Now, as I said earlier, you can turn off or on any of these at any point. These can all be customized. The names of them can all be customized. You could really do so very much here. Now, everything that I've shown you inside of that Mighty dashboard so far, it's going to give you ways to get feedback, give people an opportunity to interact with each other, and essentially for students to get to role model to one another and see one another's progress, and then give a place for a shared experience to occur. In order for a community to start to cement this sense of belonging, there must be shared experiences, things that people are going through together. That's where those live events, live chats, and discussions are going to be so important for creating that belonging that's going to improve your learning outcomes and improve the overall outcomes of your courses. So let's talk about how to not get overwhelmed through this process. A key tool in Mighty's tool belt are automations. So automations can remove a lot of the legwork that you need to do in order to create engagement and create interaction in your community. So in order to create automations, you actually click here and you click on manage. And then you can see all of your automations are actually, if you scroll down here, they're under members and then automation. You can see it all in one place for your entire network. So to create automations, you click on this and you can start to build your triggers. So what is the thing that is going to start a flow of automations or workflows? And then what are the actions that are going to occur as a result of that? So there's a couple of things I recommend triggering around courses specifically. One is to welcome your members. So send them a welcome DM, tag them with a course student, or give them what's called confetti on Mighty Networks. Anytime they either complete a welcome checklist or maybe when they join the space, meaning they're joining your course, you would put here the space that they would be getting this for, say for the launch your community course, and then you get to decide the actions. So you can give them a badge, as I mentioned, you can display a pop-up with optional confetti, or you can send them a DM and say, welcome to the course. The other thing that you might want to consider creating automations around are completion. So completing things like quizzes, completing lessons, completing entire sections. Again, same actions would occur. Maybe you give them confetti. Maybe you give them a tag when they've reached a certain point. Maybe you give them points is another thing that you can do. Another crucial thing is we don't want to lose our students in the process is to create something, a workflow that will actually re-engage them if we lose them. So one of the really cool things that we can decide is based on a member's inactivity. So maybe we want to say just inactive in this course for 21 days. Based on that, then we can send them a DM, say, hey, what's going on? Just want to check in on you. This is going to really speed up and improve the retention of your students. And then crucially, when they actually complete a course, you obviously want to congratulate them, give them a badge, give them all kinds of kudos for all the work that they have put in. So this combination of powerful and powerfully beautiful course software and interaction software is going to supercharge your ability to have a bigger impact, to build a community, and to ultimately transform lives. This is what we really want to do when we are serving our communities. We want to transform their lives with our courses and our teachings and our programs. This is how we do it in action. If you are ready to get started on the Mighty platform, check the video description below. You can find a free 30-day trial that is 2 weeks longer than you'll find anywhere else. Thanks to Mighty Networks for sharing that with me and with all of you. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram at Carrie Melissa Jones. I would love to hear what kind of courses and communities you are building and what you've taken away from this video. We've covered a lot here, but there is so much more we could cover. I'm curious, what other things do you want me to explore about Mighty Networks or any other community platform out there? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching this video. I want to wish you the best of luck gathering your people and creating powerful outcomes in their lives with your courses and community. Bye.